Hey yo, what's up? This is LadyRev over here. Welcome back to my channel. Now this is going to be the first PoE video on here ever. So here I am. Like I told you that I enjoy PoE very much. Now what I'm going to be bringing to you in the near future is a series of Scions only videos. I enjoy playing Scions very much, and basically it's just the only class that appeals to me the most. Well, Scion's Bay, Scion's Live, and she's the cutest amongst all of them. What we have today is the Bleed build with Puncture of Shanking skill. Basically, it's just Puncture, but with Dagger's dual wield. Now, it probably isn't the best build in the world, but we're sitting at 2 million DPS right now at best, average of 1.6 to 1.8, so it can kill pinnacle bosses. Now, I haven't tried Uber content yet, but I hope you enjoy. Here we go. So, this is the character, and we're sitting at level 94, and our stats are looking like this at the moment. Main skill, Puncture of Shanking. Basically, it's just Puncture, but with knives. It used to also be like this before Transfigured Gems were added to the game. You know, Puncture became bow only. But yeah, back in the days, you basically were able to use knives as well. But here in this version, we have more damage with bleeding on Puncture of Shanking. So basically, it's trying to reward you for going in up close and stab him to death. Let him bleed out. Our POB is looking at 200 million DPS right now. And what's happening today is a little bit different from what we were seeing in the videos just now. So we have Crushing Fist over here as well as our retaliation skill, and we use retaliation because we're sitting at max block, well, almost max block with Versatile Combatant 65 and 63. I'm trying to change this knife so that we can get an extra 6% chance to block attack damage, which will then increase our chance to block spell damage. But right now there's nothing on the market that looks like this at the moment, so it is what it is. Basically, I'm getting the non-vile strike skills, target one additional nearby enemy, and some chance to suppress on all the gear as well. And this is a Hunter Boots that gives me a little bit faster bleeding damage, so that's some DPS improvement. And then there's an Elder chest piece that gives me an attack crit chance, the base crit chance, and we allocate the the life mastery without the chest piece life mod, and some Abyss Jewels, and then of course the Blood Sap Tincture for the extra bleeding damage. And we're scaling all of our damage with Perfect Agony, which means crit multi. So basically our gem links look like this. Ruthless for that third time. So some people use volatile support for, you know, that little bit of extra damage, like the more maximum attack damage, but you know, it can happen on the first hit if you are lucky enough to land it. But for me, I think the third time for the attacks usually pretty much gives you a guaranteed Ruthless Strike, and it does stun a lot of mobs as well, so it's great. You know, it doesn't necessarily stun everything because we're doing Perfect Agony, so our crit isn't really doing any extra damage, but at least it does stun, and it does give me a guaranteed maximum damage on the third strike. And with bleeding, the idea is it calculates the most powerful bleeding applied at the time. And also, Rupture support gives you more damage with bleeding. Maximum 3 stacks. So every 3 times we hit with a Ruthless. So that's a 3 Rupture stacks right there. And then we have Nightblade support, obviously, for the extra crit and crit multi, which again does scale with our Perfect Agony. And then we got the melee physical damage. It's a little bit less attack speed, but it's okay. It's okay. And then of course the crit damage support. We're getting pretty unlucky with these rolls right now. the corrupts are not really landing on level 21, but it is what it is. Now, this one comes from the market, so I got this corrupted. What happens is that we don't find a lot of people playing Puncture. We find people playing Lacerative Hemorrhage. So, you know, it's not really the kind of thing that I want to do. So, this is what's happening. And of course, the crit rings. And this came out of nowhere. But, you know, it's got some great crit damage and fist to attacks, as well as the strength and dexterity. So, we have pretty good attributes right now, and it is allocating Tribal Fury, which allows us to do splash damage with melee attacks, and the skill tree pretty much looks like this. Now, we're running Unnatural Instinct over here, so that's why we're not getting any projectile damage, but we do get the resists from the small passives, and this dex is, you know, it is what it is. Also, we're getting fist damage, some movement speed, a totem, whatever, and a bit more fist damage, as well as 5 strength over here and some life, as well as this attack speed node right here. So it's pretty good. Now, we can try to get a timeless jewel in here if we want to, so we could get a little bit more bonus. You know, a lot of Scion players usually get a timeless jewel in either of these sockets if you want to get an Unnatural Instinct in here, so that's totally up to you. Now, we do have the Mage Bane and the Evasion Mastery for suppression over here, so that we are sitting at 100% chance to suppress spell damage, so it is pretty good. And we're also at a 63% spell block chance, so it's, you know, doing great so far. I'm not dying from a lot of spells unless it's a Serum Exarch's sons, basically. We're allocating some manas for some mana recovery and running clarity as well. Now, basically, it's just standard dual wield, iron reflexes stuff, and then with some extra crits over here. And of course, our star, Perfect Agony, and some fist damage. Like right now, we're just like allocating points as we level up. We do have the spell suppression chance for each dagger we're wielding. We could try to go for the elusive, also grants 40% critical hit chance, or 100% critical strike multi against enemies on full life, but then, you know, that doesn't really help us with the boss anyway. But it does help you with clearing maps, so it is totally up to you if you want to do the boss. We are sitting at 2 million DPS right now, so it's alright. And we have the tattoos for flask effect duration, and our ascendancy classes are the gladiator, obviously, for a chance to aggravate bleeding, and then we get bonuses from dual wield, and then, you know, the enemies in your presence, so it's pretty nice. Okay, now we got Pathfinder over here too, so movement speed during any flash effect and attack speed also comes into play. Our flasks usually do not run out. Well, when fighting bosses, sometimes they do run out, but we're getting the gain charges when you're hit by an enemy on all of these things, except on the life flask. But, you know, we're dealing critical damage all the time, and if the enemy is bleeding, we're going to be sitting at 100% chance to crit. So basically, you know, the first hit is enemies on full life, which means extra crit chance with the dagger node over here as well. So basically, we're just critting things all the time. We do have Assassin's Mark with Mark on Crit, so we're making sure that we're always critting on the boss. And the interesting thing is that Crushing Fist over here, as our retaliation skill, it is doing lightning damage. So what's that? Why is this happening? Well, basically, I used to run it with a Hex Touch vulnerability, and what happens is that it's giving you the damage bonus for the bleeding. But then, interestingly, with Ada's touch over here, you're also poisoning the enemy for at least 80,000 DPS per poison. And, you know, the vulnerability doesn't really give you any bonus damage for poison, but shock does. So we're supporting our Crushing Fist with Unbound Ailments, Physical to Lightning, and Overcharge. We're shocking bosses, like Abyss bosses, at 20%. And the Searing Exarch, I think it was somewhere between 18 to 19%. So that's alright. It's giving me some more damage than vulnerability with PoB in mind. So we're doing that. And also, we get Critical Mastery for 50% increased effect on non-damaging ailments. So that's why we are able to shock a lot of things. Now, rare monsters, they are getting shocked at pretty much 40% on average. Some monsters do get shocked for 50%. Now, we don't need to talk about the trash mobs. They always get maximum shock effects. So it is pretty good at the moment. Now, other gems are the Herald of Purity, Vitality, Mark on Hit, Phase Run for the extra speed movement, Steel Skin for our guard, more duration, and then also Ambush. So duration is supporting Ambush, Phase Run, and Steel Skin. Now we get some Frenzy charges from the block, so the Phase Run is going to last about 8 to 11 seconds, depends on how many Frenzy charges you got. And basically you just run pretty fast. And we could try swapping the Quicksilver Flask out for the Blood Sap Tincture over here, but then we're losing a substantial amount of damage. So let's actually have a run on the map and see what happens. So let's try a tier 16. Okay, we're gonna re-roll that because that doesn't look very nice. Juice up the quality. Elemental weaknesses, monster damage, blah 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 blah. Okay, that's very good. Let's go. Now I might die because of the elemental weakness, because right now we don't have a lot of resist over here, but let's see how much we do in terms of damage. Now the flask gonna kick in and then Phase Run. So we can see the green, that is basically the poison. And I don't do automation with my guard. I usually press my guard skill by myself. I don't like my survivability to be a little bit random, because sometimes I do mess up and I don't press it in time. So now we can see some stuns landing on the monsters also. There we go. So we're just running around. Jesus Christ. Okay. Let's go here. Oh. So basically, if we don't block anything, we won't be able to land our Crushing Fist for the shock. But we do get to block bosses because of all the extra stuff happening on the screen. Now, it's a little bit of a letdown, to be honest. And map clearing wise, this is not the fastest, but it is doable. If you're looking for speed, then this build is definitely not for you, but it is fun, so I like to do it. Now, I'm farming Abyss at the moment. Alright, let's do some shock. Oops, he's dead.
Can I not have but a moment's respite?
I haven't been able to use ambush at the moment, so let's find a chance to use ambush. Okay, there we go. Now, 32% shock just now. You can go back and take a look. There we go. Now, ambush a little bit to blind a rare enemy. It's also a good idea for you to be able to survive in such a huge crowd. There we go, 36% shock. ambush. Okay. Well, there it is. Abyssal Death. Now, we can go in and see how it looks like on the boss. That's pretty nice. And we're doing this live, so I don't know if I'm gonna die, but probably will. And that was a non-crit, so it was messed up just now. There we go, 50% shock effect. Okay, alchemy, we're gonna take that. Oops! Oh! Oh, god damn it. 36%. The flasks are pretty much always up because I anointed it so that, no, I'm not anointed, I instilled them so that they are reused when charges reach full.
I have nothing
It's this guy. There we go, 14% shock, so that's pretty nice. Now I prefer if we got a little bit more shock. Now sealskin up. Okay. Puncture on. 34% shock on that rare just now. Now I hate this guy when he disappears. It's basically giving him a little more immunity frame. Now, steel skin up. 14% shock and tincture on. So that's pretty good damage. Now he's back on his immunity. I'm gonna do here. Tincture on again. There we go.
Can I not have but a moment's respite?
Okay. Cool. Now we can see that the crushing fist isn't really killing a trash mob, but that's because we're doing much less damage with— oh shit. Okay. Yeah, we're doing much less damage than we're supposed to with the overshock support, but the idea is we want to shock, not do the damage itself. Okay. There we go. Shock 22%, and we're back here again. The third Stygian spire. Whoop, okay. Okay, we're just gonna kill this guy because we want to, because we can. Now, that's going to be the last time you disappear, young man. Okay. There we go, tincture on. And he is dead. There we go. So, that's the character. If you like it, please like and subscribe, and I am going to bring you more Science only builds for those of you who love Scion, because Scion is bae, Scion is life. Have a great day. See you next time. Bye.